official poster girl of the league and used her star power to elevate the WNBA to new heights. Instead, they missed the chance to fully capitalize on her impact.
It's something. And I think that some of the ladies, not all, but some of the ladies in the WNBA are missing the point.
But what did they do? Instead of supporting her, the entire league turned on her. They bullied her, and the league officials rewarded the bullies with titles and awards. A perfect example is when Dejanai Carrington hit Caitlin Clark in the eye. Everyone saw it, everyone knew it was wrong, and she should have been suspended for this.
Dejanai Carrington get into it with Caitlin Clark. There were many accusing her of giving Caitlin Clark a black eye, having an intentional foul on Caitlin Clark, which wasn't called.
Instead of suspending Dejanai Carrington and imposing a fine, the league went ahead and awarded her as the most improved player in the league. Can you believe that?
Dejanai Carrington now has been awarded most improved player of the season. If people were to read about this WNBA player getting most improved this season, I think oftentimes, if you would have looked last year, for example, they would have been like, who? Who is this person? Okay, moving on. I have no idea, nor do I care. But because this was the player just involved in a bit of a scuffle with Caitlin Clark in the opening game of the playoffs, now people are saying, oh, that woman that got most improved player, that's the one who stuck her fingernail in Caitlin Clark's eye.
Until the WNBA fixes this bias and the negativity toward Caitlin Clark, I seriously doubt anyone will take them seriously. What do you think about this situation? Let me know in the comments section below.
This fall, switch to a TurboTax Live Expert and you'll beat the price you paid for your drone last tax season.
Now, no, FEMA is insolvent. It's insolvent. They've given all the money away for these disasters to people that are non-citizen. You are going to be facing winter very soon if you're in these mountains. This is a dire situation. Politicians have finally been caught with their hands in the cookie jar because of the internet. We were able to research this thing, and the transparency of this is terrible. Watch these videos, and I'm going to help you figure out what's going on. I want you to listen to what she's got to say right here. This is very important personal experience.
Hey, Monty.
Flight of medical supplies that were brought in and are going to North Asheville. We were sitting in the private portion of the airport and we got to overhear an awful lot. The Army pilots, the Navy pilots, hospital representatives, there was a lot of chatter. While we were there, we kind of said that the hospital representatives are wonderful. I'm going to write again. I'm going to find out, and you're not going to hear this. So let me tell you. I'm going to find out Mission Hospital was told, private hospital, that they are going to go ahead and be a morgue center for body recovery.
Get there, find the Toro and fire it up. For lucky, GPS will have a waypoint or a tracker on where it's
They
going.
are doing body recovery. FEMA said, and you can take this as a direct quote, said that they are too tied up at the border to send any more representatives. Yep, at the border. So, this border control trumps whatever's going on here. So, they told Mission Hospital they are not sending refrigerated trucks so that they can stack the bodies up. And we also overheard that whatever fatality numbers you are hearing, this is a quote, go ahead and add a couple of zeros. So FEMA's too busy with the border. The private hospital and the Army are going to take over body recovery, and private individuals with their private helicopters and their private planes are the ones who are flying in supplies. I was at Hangar 10, picking up supplies. There was a staff for the Cajun Navy. There was a staff that was working for ASPCA. These are all administered by private individuals. FEMA is doing nothing. Go ahead and share them.
So this next one is even more weird, and there's just things that just don't add up. And check out what he has to say.
Carolina, you deserve to hear this.
I'm a truck driver. All right. I'm a 53-foot stepdad. I've been trucking for about 2.5 years. I have a YouTube channel. You can verify that on Baby Lion Hotshot. Usually, in a disaster situation, it is payday for truckers. We look for that hurricane. We look for that ice storm. There's generators coming to you. There's stuff coming out of military bases. There's excavators, skid steers, bulldozers, tree trimming equipment, pumps, like water pumps to pump water out of places that have been flooded. There's no boat on the road board coming to you within 125 miles of Asheville. It's called Truck Stop. This is where I find all my boats. Chicago, Illinois, up at the top. Within 250 miles of Chicago is where I'm going to pick up. The second is the destination. So it goes origin, destination, one. See, drop-off location. Let's do city, North Carolina. Click it. Boom. All right. These are all $1.40 per mile boats, $1.39. That was posted yesterday. I mean, there's nothing. These are loads that you won't even, nobody's taking. They're just on the load board. They've been on there since yesterday. You can see, right? Let's type in a different city. That's from Chicago. Maybe Tennessee, maybe Nashville is closer. They send resources from Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee, within 250 miles of Nashville to Asheville, North Carolina, within 125 miles. Let's see, there is, that's it. That's all the boats. That's all the boats that are 28,000 pounds of weight. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but, I mean, what the hell is going on here? I have brokers call me and tell me, Stu, have you seen any loads going to Asheville or, like, anywhere around the Carolinas, South Carolina, Georgia? Is there any, like, FEMA loads? There's none. Zero. He's been a broker for 6 years. And he's talking to other brokers, they're saying the same thing. What's going on, guys?
Where was the transparency in any of this? It was none. And now they're trying to cover it up. They're caught. And now they're starting to launch congressional inquiries on where did all the aid? Why was it stopped? Why was it halted? I've told you in the videos prior to this why it was halted. And because of the rural areas that it's in, they thought they were going to be able to cover it up. And the internet and everybody that banded together and sent me stuff, sent stuff on Twitter. You can follow me at Jack Motley Live on Twitter. They said, you know, we've had enough, and here's the truth. And the media has spun it, and they're saying that everything was done that could be done. That's not true. I've proved to you. The government has the ability to fix this. They could have provided aid immediately, and they have not. Hold these politicians accountable. I mean, we're in a situation right now where the civilians are out there, so normal people are helping each other to their left and right. They're delivering supplies, goods, people are just searching for information. The amount of comments that have come through on my last few videos where I've talked about this is, it's staggering to see people have a thirst for information and nobody trusts the media anymore, and rightfully so. After going through hurricane after hurricane, Ivan, Katrina, Opal, Aaron, Sally, recently we went through Sally and it was a terrible experience. I mean, it came right up that road right there and destroyed everybody's lives. I think she's right about the Army looking for bodies, and I think they have directed a lot of the resupply to the civilian side. I think a lot of these sheriff's departments are overwhelmed. Search
Like Michael Jackson said, they don't give a fuck about us. They break their neck and go into another fucking country when they have a disaster.
At the Army level, being able to bounce around the map, you're going to see a lot of these people, the scheme of maneuver, the ability to move around the map is going to be the hardest part. We saw this in Afghanistan. If you have an Army, logistical, infantry background, put it in the comments down below what the Army's ability was to bounce around RC East Afghanistan or even in the mountains up in north of Mosul or like anywhere around a lot of these really, really desolate areas in Afghanistan. And you'll like, comment down below. The entire division in the United States Army called 10th Mountain, okay? They specialize in mountain warfare, mountain logistics, everything to do with the mountains. And these guys could be on top of that mountain tomorrow, directing exactly how this needs to be done. I'm I'm not trying to belittle any of the sheriff's departments or any of the local areas. I'm just saying there are professionals that are just hours away that the government could call in to fix this situation. It's boggling. Just yesterday, they interviewed President Biden. Here's what he said.
States the storm zone needs. So, what's the states of the storm zone? What do they need? Everybody saw today. The storm zone. Yes, sir. I don't know what storm we're talking about. They get everything they need. They're very happy across the board.
He didn't even know which storm. I mean, to people like us in the South, these storms destroy lives. But from Florida all the way up, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, people's homes are gone. Everything they have in this world is devastated, and now we're seeing the wholesalers come in asking to buy their properties, pennies on the dollar. The corporations are going to come in and try to get their lands for a penny on the dollar, many of which they inherited it. And when you're staring at a complete catastrophic event, you're wondering, like, do I just sell and move out? Please don't. Please don't allow them to take their properties, pennies on the dollar. Ask questions. Go down these rabbit holes of why are they wanting to be here. The ore in North Carolina mountains is worth a crazy amount of money. Don't take my word for it. Start Googling. Where's all this quartz going? Where's all this lithium going? Why do they want to mine it? What kind of mines are coming in here? And what does it have to do with Taiwan? What does it have to do with chip making, semiconductor making? There's a big market for the area of Asheville, just north of it, west of it, east of it. These mountains are worth a fortune. They're going to put a 5 pennies on the dollar. Make sure everybody will understand there's a reason why there's roadblocks of this aid.
A woman and her husband left their home and came back the next day and found they had 15 cats, 5 dogs, and a father-in-law. And found them all dead except for 4 cats. And the story was hard to hear. But it's the look in her eyes that I can't forget. And last night, somebody was at the river and just looking at the destruction and cars upside down and saw Halloween costumes floating down our river. And then she saw faces and realized they weren't costumes. She said, I've seen bodies, and I'm not okay with that. And then somebody called and said, when is somebody going to come and collect all the bodies and plant them along the embankment of the river? And then a man called saying, I need 911 at my house. And somebody said, why? Are you okay? And he said, yes, I'm okay. And I opened my front door, and there are several bodies in my front yard. This is the stuff I'm having a hard time with. Because I want to make it better for everybody, and I can't do anything. So anyway, these tears are about us, and I didn't mean to cry, but I can't talk about this without this. And I'm sure because the emotional stress that we're under right now is beyond anything we did.
There's also some safety issues that come up. For example, temporary flight restrictions to make sure that the airspace is clear for any flights or drone activity that might be involved in helping to allow those emergency responders to do their job.
You know, it seems like the government is just restricting things they shouldn't be restricting. Like, they've restricted drone flights into these localities, into these locations. Like, Like right now, search and rescue uses a lot of drone technology. And deer hunters use drone technology to find deer that are dead in the woods or wounded and they need to get to them. And sometimes, running around at night, it's pretty hard to find a wounded animal. But you put a drone up in the air with a heat signature and some type of thermal device, and you can find it. And that's what a lot of these guys were trying to do at the beginning of this search and rescue. But it's, man, we put 20, 30 drones up in the air, scout out the mountain, we can see the heat signatures, even if somebody's hurt, okay? Or even if they've passed away, you can see the thermal heat imaging of them around everything else, okay? NRF, they did the same thing fighting IEDs, okay? You can see the heat difference on the road between the device and everybody else that's around it, okay? And these search and rescue devices, these drones, is what they were using to try to find people in the woods. But the federal government comes out and says, you can't do that. We're restricting you. We're putting you on the ground. The FCC, the FAA, they will say, we're going to fine you if you're caught flying in this area. Well, that just took 30, 40, however many was out there, eyes off the battlefield. Kept them from being able to go out and find these people in need. What if that could have saved another 5, 10, 15 lives? What if somebody that's stuck on the side of the mountain that you don't even know they're up there is still up there? And most of these drones operate well below where many of these planes are flying. And it is not really that big of a deal. I think we're technologically past this now, that when you're in the middle of the woods, in the mountains, that there's probably enough airspace to fly a drone to look and see if somebody needs help. This is probably also one of the reasons why they're blocking live. They don't want the media and they don't want people to see how many dead people there are. Okay, this happened during the cough. This happened. They didn't want people to see it. They didn't want people to report about it because it would scare people. Well, in this situation, the government wants to be in charge of everything. And they don't want civilians, they want you to ask the government for help. They don't want civilians to be able to help themselves. And that's what really frustrated me in my first video, is that we pay excessive amounts of taxes. Okay? We should get help. Okay? If you don't want to help us, then don't take our taxes. Okay? Like the Constitution said so. Like, we should be able to fund our own Cajun Navy. Look, the Cajun Navy is one of the most amazing rescue operations you'll ever find. Louisiana, Gulf Coast, these guys did amazing stuff, okay? Civilians, with their own logistical support, their own boats, went out there and made it happen. We saved ourselves on the Gulf Coast, we pulled our own security here on the Gulf Coast. Our sheriff's department worked themselves to death doing great things, but they don't call in. It's not that the assets don't exist, they just won't use them. They want to keep asking from these funding.
Jeez, this promoter guy is annoying AF. His bleeder feed is just non-stop hype for himself. There's like 10 emojis for every word.
Imani, I don't understand
And
half
for
the shit you text me.
FEMA, all these other government infrastructure that never get it done. And listen to this lady right here that is talking about FEMA and all these other agencies that
have no power. We have no running water, but I'm just so pissed off that I've got to make this clear. We got a notification from FEMA. I'm guessing that's FEMA for Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's supposed to be the disaster relief people, but they were like, "Do not donate your time. We don't want you to donate time unless we ask for you, and we don't want you to donate stuff to other people. You need to just donate money and stuff to us and get your instructions from us and listen to us." What? And then they said yesterday, we don't go into areas that the roads are not easily accessible. What? You are the disaster relief people. Like, that is your job. To go into the areas that are
There's an elevator in there that'll take you right up to the penthouse floor.
Not just go to the easy area and sit and wait for the people that are in the disaster area to be able to come to you.
So how we do
The
it?
roads that we do.
Good. Just coming up on the penthouse. Coords are on your GPS.
And you have to have tricks and stuff to be able to get through there. Like, it's just beyond me. So, and you have us all messed up. If you think you're going to come here and burn corners with us, and then expect the people just to give you the money and us trust that you're going to try to take care of us when you don't go into areas that are not easily accessible. What? Right.
Okay,
This is
look,
what
find that
County Girl.
asshole, snatch whatever he's using to play the track.
So donate to our local churches because they will make sure that the people that are need it will get it. And you need to just, while we appreciate what help you're trying to provide, I don't think you understood the assignment because it's not to just go to one location in hopes that the people in the disaster area can make it to you. So just sit back and watch, and we'll show you how to do it. But we're
Get a chance, man, shut his ass up.
So
This fucking kid is
please,
annoying.
and thank you.
He's not even a
Truth
kid.
is
He's
coming
like
to
24
light,
or something.
and it's baffling how bad this stuff is not being reported. The misinformation is crazy, and the only real place you can find some real authentic information is from the people in their cell phone sharing it on social media. It's regular people like you. The looting, the death toll is way worse than we actually thought it was going to be, and nobody could plan for really any of it.
Health operation. First of all, some really dumb rules have been implemented, y'all. One of our big shelters and distribution centers, the health department told the refugees, those that are off everything, that they could not use the shelter shower without flip-flops. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. These people have lost everything. And you won't let them take a hot shower without flip-flops. Thank you, Brent, and thank you to Larry Ford who hooked us up at the nail supply place because we sent 18,000 pairs of flip-flops up to the shelter this morning with one of my girlfriends took a trailer up so people can take a shower. Those are the kind of rules that don't help in a time of absolute survival disaster. That's number one. Number two is, if you're reading about FEMA online and wondering if they're really a pain in the tail, I can confirm it is true. I tried to send in a pallet of chainsaws 2 days ago, and we had to divert it somewhere away from FEMA because they wanted to confiscate. FEMA, those ancient chainsaws, our mountain people are much better with it than y'all are. I want you to find people that work for FEMA and talk about the organization. But those saws need to be in the hands of the guys on ATVs down in the holler and up on these trees where there are blocked roads where we can get access to our neighbors who are still stranded. This is not a one-time little 5-minute storm. There are people that we have not gotten to yet, and we want to get to them. That's why those chainsaws are up there. So, fine, we're going to go around these things, but don't try to get in the way of North Carolina mountain people and when we are trying to take care of each other. You should also know I had a shipment trying to go in last night that got stopped because somebody wanted to inventory it. So we diverted that one elsewhere to get it in the hands of an apartment complex of seniors that have been neglected. So thank you.
To go on to that, there is story after story, video after video where civilians have taken their own equipment in to hand out chainsaws, to hand out food, water, only to have it intercepted by FEMA or correct the rest. Hey, you can't go in there. Then they take the equipment and they put it in some storage facility and it probably never even gets distributed. Look, I went on the White House website to look at my aid that was put down like 2-3 days ago, and they said 1,000 soldiers were headed to help with aid. When you dissect 1,000 soldiers down to how many are actually out there on the ground, handing equipment out, and pulling things and band-aids, food and water and everything, out of 1,000, you might have 150, 100 actually out there doing direct support. Same with FEMA, same with home people, and many of these government employees are taking out the hotel rooms and the places to stay, but the people that actually need the help can't even get in to stay. This is bigger than the individual level. This is about land grabs, it's about ore, it's about mining, it's about large corporations coming in to take your land, and it seems like blood after blood, they're putting roadblock after roadblock in front of everybody that lives in North Carolina, Nashville area. It seems like they don't want the aid to get there. It was such a slow process. I've detailed this in my last 2 videos on this issue, what the Army could have done, what politicians could have done, and they have not done it. The resources are there. They've just been misappropriated. They've been turned to the wrong places. The checks have gone to places they shouldn't have gone. And now this is about bailouts. It's about government asking for more money from the politicians, from the lawmakers, from Congress, to say, hey, we need more money. They misappropriated it, and now they want more money. They're going to come back and say, we need more money for FEMA. It's just not enough money. And that's what politicians always do. They always ask for more money to solve the problem instead of solving the problem. Check out this right here that was on the news.
This is also to make sure that the communities who are potentially impacted are prepared as well. And it's not just hurricanes and wildfires, also extreme heat, which certainly some parts of the United States are already experiencing.
As Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas sounded the alarm on FEMA funding right after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Listen.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
That's what you should be telling these fucking migrants. We gotta send y'all back. We don't have the funds.
On services for migrants.
But I really started seeing enough is enough. We're tired of it. We're going to change out the entire crowd in Washington and the local state legislatures because this is enough. I'm tired of watching U.S. citizens that pay their taxes not get any aid. Look, they could have tracked in on mules, which they're doing right now. The government could have done this if the trucks weren't available. Heck, the Viet Cong did it on bicycles. The Taliban did it on motorcycles. Like, you can get aid in there, and we could have gotten in to help these people. We could have walked it in if we had to. But the fact that everybody sat around for days, a week now, and there was nothing being done, should crawl in your stomach. On the screen here, I'm going to put the units that are of the United States Army that is just 3 or 4 hours away. You've got the Marine Corps, you've got Fort Bragg, you've got many other little forts all around Carolina that are just a few hours away. The 82nd Airborne, any of those divisions could have rallied up, they could have staged the night before, and they could have been in Asheville the next morning, okay? And they could have had a logistical convoy miles long. They could have removed those roads in a week. You would already have aid and range established in Asheville if they truly wanted to. Remember back in the day, I talked about this at length, when they would airlift entire battalions in the jungles of Vietnam, when pathfinders would go in and make landing zones all over Afghanistan and Iraq. Hey, trust me, a lot of us people from here and such were there. A lot of us, we did it. Comment down below if you were there and you remember how they did this. When it was so many Black Hawks and Huey helicopters that was almost dark in the sky, that would literally make dust storms in the desert, there was so many of them. This kind of stuff eats me up. You know, there was a time when you saw the federal government coming or the flag flying, that there were men of honor coming to help you. When you saw the horizon that help was coming, there was not a shadow of doubt in your mind. This was going to be our saving grace. You knew that help was coming when you saw that on the horizon. Now you got to wonder, are they going to steal our materials we're trying to give to those in need? Are they going to give us a ticket? Are they going to arrest us for helping? Are they going to require us to have a permit to help? Are they going to restrict our movement? Are they going to confiscate our stuff? I mean, what are we talking about? You know, like, it's just video after video of misinformation. We are coming into election season. We are in election season. We're in October. The next month is going to be a really problem time for voters in these red states. And you got to start asking yourself, could that be a reason? That for all these people getting to the ballots and actually casting their ballots is going to be hard. There's not going to be power in a lot of these places. Their homes are gone. Mobility and transportation is going to be horrific. And winter is coming in. It's going to get cold. It's going to get colder in these areas in the next, growing month. Okay, October here in Florida is always cold at Halloween, and this is where they're going to be. And there's no way in, no way out. I mean, we're talking tiny roads. Okay, they bend, they turn. It's not like you just get in and out. And those that leave, they're worried about their place getting looted. They're worried about their animals. They're worried about the place they were born, not being able to get back to them, or they might not be there when they get back. There's no law in these places. And when you see these places, you realize you're your own law. That's why the Second Amendment is so big in disasters, okay? The looters, the marauders, the crimes, the police are not coming. If you live in these areas, you